Okay, so doing the 60 years release by year kind of thing, my favorite album that was released, I thought it'd be a really cool idea to do it with films. I've seen a lot of films. I've seen over 20,000. Yeah, I'm not sure when, but back in 2013 or 2014, that's how far I could count, was 20,000. I mean, I've seen a lot of films since I moved here. So, anyways, yeah, I've seen basically every single film released in 1980 to 1989. Pretty much every single one. There's like a list that I have, a checklist, and every so often I watch one. Or two or three or whatever, depending on the night. It's been a while since I watched any films recently, except for recent films that keep coming out. I'm not a huge fan of the films that have been coming out the past 3 years, to be honest. You'll see my picks, and yeah, I wanted to start as early as I could, which was 1950. So, yeah, big chunk of films to tell you about. Lots didn't make the list due to the fact that they were released the exact same year as something else, same as the albums, right? Yeah, without further ado, I hope you enjoy, and hopefully there's something in here that you can recommend. On a quick note before I start as well, the Supergirl movie kicks ass. It doesn't make this list, but it does kick ass. So fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes, you're garbage. Complete fucking bullshit fucking garbage. Because you don't rate films properly. No, if a film is like the Supergirl one from the 80s, it should be roughly around 40 or 50. It's not great, but it is watchable. And it's the only superhero movie before Batman that had a fucking villain. So fuck you. Because I seen that movie as a kid, and I've seen the Doctor Strange movie. The real one. Yeah, the one way back from the 70s. They didn't know how to make superhero movies way back. I've even seen Italian Spider-Man. No, we're not getting into it. Anyways, starting with 1950, Cinderella. 1951, Alice in Wonderland. 'These are both the Disney ones, by the way. 1952, Singing in the Rain. It's not great, it's just the only movie from that year I'd seen. 1953, Peter Pan, also the Disney one. 1954, Godzilla. That's the original Godzilla film. 1955, Rebel Without a Cause. 1956, The Forbidden Planet, or Forbidden Planet. 1957, 12 Angry Men. 1958, Vertigo. 1959, North by Northwest. 1960, Psycho. 1961, 101 Dalmatians, also Disney as well. 1962, Dr. No. That's a James Bond movie. 1963, The Great Escape. 1964, A Hard Day's Night. And no, I'm not just doing that because of the album and Beatles fan. That movie's fucking hilarious and shaped my 20s, in a sense. 1965, Help. Also hilarious. Also a Beatles film. 1966, Batman. The Adam West Batman film, where he fights a rubber shark or an inflatable shark. On a side note, before I keep going, there was supposed to be a Batman versus Godzilla movie. That Batman. Like Adam West Batman versus Godzilla. When they were making all those Godzilla versus movies, there's actually a plot you can find online. They have like a bunch of synopsis. Fucking hilarious. Anyways, 1967, Cool Hand Luke. 1968, Barbarella. 1969, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. 1970, MASH. 1971, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. 1972, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. 1973, Soylent Green. 1974, Blazing Saddles. 1975, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. 1976, Logan's Run. 1977, Slapshot. 1978, The Ruddles. 1979, And Justice for All. Not the album by Metallica. No, not the one I skipped over for Kylie's first album. No, we're talking about the Al Pacino movie. Much more important release than that silly album. Great album anyway, so it is a really good album if you're into that. Anyways. "1980, The Empire Strikes Back." 1981, The Evil Dead. 1982, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, right? Not the original The Thing from Another World or whatever, another planet. 1983, Strange Brew. 1984, The Karate Kid. 1985, Return to Oz. 1986, the Transformers movie. The only Transformers movie. And on a side note, all you little whiny bitches I grew up with that cried when Optimus Prime died, thanks for destroying story, you fucking idiots. You wimpy, baby-ass Cosby Show watching fairies. And I don't mean the gays. Good God. Yeah, the Transformers movie where Optimus dies, it's fucking golden. "1987, which has the distinction of being my favorite film ever released, Robot Carnival. 1988, Beetlejuice. 1989, there was a lot of other movies I wanted to pick, like Hear No Evil, See No Evil, which is Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. It's them at their freaking top game. It's hilarious. Oh my God, I love that movie. However, it's 1989. Batman. Duh. 1990, it was going to be TMNT, like the Ninja Turtles movie, because that was amazing. And I seen both those when I was a kid and was just like, right? 1990 has to be it. There's no way I'm putting anything other than Tim Curry playing Pennywise the Clown. There's no way I'm putting anything above it. 1991, T2, Judgment Day. 1992, The Lawnmower Man. 1993, Demolition Man. 1994, the last Disney movie that makes it on here, The Lion King. 1995, Mortal Kombat. You may disagree with me, the best video game movie when I was a kid, bar none. It actually looked like the game. They had all the characters, everything. Anyways, Mortal Kombat kicks ass. 1996, Primal Fear. 1997, Princess Mononoke. 1998, Half-Baked. 1999, Office Space. 2000, Hellraiser Inferno. 2001, Not Another Teen Movie. 2002, Kung Pao. 2003, Identity. 2004, DodgeBall. 2005, Flight Plan. 2006, Talladega Nights. 2007, 1408. 2008, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. 2009, Hachi, The Dog Story. 2010, the best film since the 2000s, hands down bar none, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. What a fucking amazing accomplishment that film is. Fucking amazing. 5 stars. Like, best thing since the 90s. Good. 2011, Captain America, The First Avenger. 2012, Looper. 2013, Coherence. 2014, Ex Machina. 2015, The Night Before. 2016, The Founder. 2017, Thor Ragnarok. 2018, Tag. 2019, The Platform. 2020, Sonic the Hedgehog. I was going to put Face the Music in there. I was going to put the third Bill and Ted movie in there. I really was. And the third Bill and Ted movie is proof to me that you don't know what you're talking about musically. Because the movie sucks. It straight up does. However, they did their fucking research. Because Dave Grohl is definitely the king of my generation for rock and roll. Hands fucking down. Foo Fighters and that shitty band that everybody else likes. He really is. Legit, he's like the top tier or whatever. So they pick him as the guy they go in the future to steal the fucking best song from. I found that fucking hilarious that it was him. And accurate. And then they go back in history, and it's like everybody thinks Jimmy's the best. He's not. He's not even fucking close. But everybody does. So you're going on popular opinion. They did their research. They picked Mozart, him. They tried to be fair to everything. So, I mean, the movie sucks, yes. But it's not a bad movie when it comes to actually paying attention to what they were fucking doing. And Keanu Reeves dialed it in. But nowhere near as good as Sonic. Sonic was a great movie. Yeah, it was. It was a great family movie. It's a great video game movie. It ends in a perfect way. You know what I mean? It was good. It was the only movie from that year I could give a shit about. So, that I could find to give a shit about, right? Anyways. "2021, The Suicide Squad," which I considered the best superhero movie that had been released since Batman. The original Batman. I don't like anything post that Batman. Batman Returns was a close 1992, but 2022, Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness or whatever. I love that movie. That was great. That was a breath of fresh air in last year. "2023, the greatest superhero movie of all time in my opinion, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And there you have it. I don't think anything's beaten Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for the rest of the year. I really don't. And it's my favorite superhero movie of all time. It has to be. It was perfect. Don't get me wrong, Batman's awesome. Suicide Squad was great. Or The Suicide Squad, right? They're both great movies. James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well. In my opinion, if you're doing something superhero related, you grab that guy. Because he puts a fucking comic into film. He doesn't put bullshit in there. But, yeah. He doesn't put bitch Larson in there. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this. Hopefully you found some films that you might recommend or get recommended. My big thing is like stories that are really good. If the story's really good and has something compelling, I'm in there. Or if it's funny. My favorite genre is comedy, so it's like, and I don't like new age comedy that's not that fucking funny. I like Blazing Saddles or fucking Holy Grail or Kung Pao, where it's just completely fucking ridiculous off the rails. They're throwing so many jokes at you, there's no way you can't laugh. Like just that. Strange Brew. Strange Brew beat out Return of the Jedi. Yeah, think about that. I like Return of the Jedi more than Empire. And Strange Brew beat it out. Empire's the better movie. That's why everybody goes on about it. It is, as a movie, it's a better movie. As a Star Wars? Fuck no. Return of the Jedi is the best fucking Star Wars movie there is. It's the best piece of Star Wars. Jabba the Hutt. All the crazy puppets and shit. The most injection of Jim Henson into that. A lot of people don't realize that Jim Henson's Yoda. He's the one who created Yoda. And the voice and everything. The whole way that Yoda is. Right? That's all Jim Henson's idea. I mean... Anyways. Yeah. I know there's many movies that are amazing. You wait till the top 100. It's coming. Along with the albums. And... spoiler alert for both those. A lot of films you see on here didn't make it in my top 100. A lot of albums you've seen in that other list did not make my top 100. In my opinion, films stopped being any good, other than Scott Pilgrim, about fucking 20 years ago. And I mean, there are good films. I mentioned them. Plus, there's ones that came out in between there. But it was pretty scarce and sparse trying to find something like... I was going to pick that Bill and Ted movie. Because it's like, what the fuck else came out this year? And I mean, I was impressed with the fact they picked Dave Grohl. I'm like, that makes sense. It made sense to me immediately that that was the guy. Anyways, yeah. Nothing else for you right now. But, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Watch some films. If you have any film recommendations for me, load them in there. I guarantee I've probably seen it, because if it came out in the 80s or 90s or now, if it hasn't and you recommend me a film I haven't seen, fucking kudos to you, because it's fucking hard to find any I haven't seen these days that I actually enjoy, that aren't coming out this year, you know. And as you can see, the last few years, it's all superhero and cartoon shit. And the reason being is all the normal movies are people who are filled with some kind of political agenda trying to push you to one way or the other, and I'm not into that, no. I'm into creative stories, laughing my ass off like I did when Buddy threw the wrench in DodgeBall. Fucking, I love comedy. I love horror too, don't get me wrong, but certain things just had to beat others because of how important they are. Oh yeah, and some honorable mentions we'll finish with. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother, Red Dawn. I won't recommend Face the Music to you. That's not a good movie.